Welcome, everyone. We're going to give it a few more minutes for people to join the workshop, and then we'll get started. Welcome, everyone who just joined. We're going to give it another minute for people to join, and then we'll go ahead and get started maybe 1 or 2 after the hour. All right, everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started. I might need to pause and let a few other people in from the waiting room. Could you just chat in the chat box that you can hear me and you can see a PowerPoint up on your screen just real quick so I can make sure you guys are seeing what I'm seeing and that we're good to go? Awesome. Looks like you're good. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Couple housekeeping items. This webinar is being recorded, just so you know, and I will send you guys a link to the presentation afterwards in case you want to view it afterwards. Also, all the workshops that I'm giving this fall will be available on the Career Services YouTube channel. So I'll also send you guys a link to that. So that way you can see all of the workshops that we're offering this semester and into the future. If you have questions throughout the workshop, if you want, you can just type them into the chat box and I'll go over them at the end. And at the end, there'll also be an opportunity for you guys to unmute and ask them in person if you'd like. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. This workshop is about Handshake, which is our career services management system. And we'll go into this, but it's a way that you can apply to internships and jobs, how you can register for career services events and workshops, how you schedule appointments with career services. Basically, everything career services is housed on this platform. So it's really important that you guys get used to it and are comfortable with the system and how to interact with it because it's a really, really great tool. As an introduction, my name is Laura Polk. I work in the Career Services Department. I'm responsible for the aerospace engineering, mechanical engineering, space physics, astronomy, and cyber intelligence and security. And I work at the Prescott, Arizona campus. So Okay, why should you use Handshake? It's a great way to get hired for internships and jobs. It's also a way where employers can discover you. It's not just a one-way street in which you look for jobs. Employers are actively on this platform and looking for students that they're interested in hiring, and can send you messages and invite you to events or invite you to apply to certain requisitions. It's also a great way to get connected with other students for tips and advice, and I'll show you how to use that. And like I was saying earlier, it's a great way to get all of career services in one place, from all of our resources to registering for events and scheduling appointments with us. So first off, Handshake is a platform that has almost every company that you'd be interested in applying to. They have 100% of the Fortune 500 companies. As you can see, 3.5 million jobs and internships in every industry, all over the United States and all over the world. So I just listed some companies here that you might be interested in applying to. And Handshake is a relatively new platform, but it's really, really taken off, and a lot of universities are using it and a lot of companies are using it. So while you might know a lot of job posting websites such as Indeed.com, ZipRecruiter, LinkedIn, this is really the platform that employers go to hire entry-level students. So students that are still in college looking for internships or first-time jobs out of college. So it's a really great platform for that if that's what you're really narrowing your focus on, which, you know, I'm all talking to college students, so it should be what you're looking for. So get discovered. So like I said earlier, employers are actively searching for students on this platform. So not only can you go and apply for positions, they're going to be searching for students with the skills that they're looking for and messaging you directly. So that's why it's really important to fill out your profile completely. And I'll go into that in future slides on instructions on how to do that. So like I said before, the career search is not a one-way street. If you complete your profile, you're 5 times more likely to get reached out to from an employer. And I'll go into depth into which parts of your profile you really want to be focusing on and getting right. Get connected. So in addition to connecting with employers, it's a really great resource to connect with peers, not only through Embry-Riddle, but all across the United States and the world. So you can see company reviews from classmates. Let's say you're interested in interning with a certain company. I would go on here and see if any other students had interned there and see what they liked, see what they didn't like, and any advice that they give for that particular internship. Again, a way to have one-on-one peer messaging and ask questions for your peers that may have interned or started a job at a company that you're interested in pursuing. This is just a little bit of how that peer messaging looks like. And get it all in one place. So this is the part of the workshop where I really want to, I'm going to have 2 tabs open, and I'm going to go into the student side of Handshake and really show you how to take advantage of this platform and how to fill out your profile, how to upload your resume, how to register for events, etc. So this is a sample of what it would look like when you're looking at events and how to look at upcoming events and register or save events for the future. So let's get started. So first, I just want to go over how to log in. And I'm going to ask you guys again, I want to make sure that you can see the screen that I have up now. So if you'll just chat in the chat box and let me know that you can see Handshake. Michael says yes, thank you. Okay, so how you're going to log in is you're going to go to your Ernie homepage. And once you're logged into Ernie, you can be logged into Handshake. So Handshake is housed under Tools. I saved it as one of my favorites, so it shows up on this first page. If it doesn't show up on your first page, you can click on All Tools, and that'll show you all the tools that Ernie has available. And you're going to click on the logo that looks like this, and it says Handshake Jobs Student/Alumni. And you're going to click on that link. And then, like I said, if you're logged into Ernie, you're already logged into Handshake. You do not have to create a separate account because it's connected to your Embry-Riddle account. So this is what your home screen is going to look like. You can also download the app on your phone and have, it's a really well-designed app, and you can do everything that you can do on your desktop on your app as well. So all you would do is go to the App Store, Google Play, and click Handshake, or type in Handshake, and then click on the correct symbol right here. Okay, so now I want to go over how to complete your profile. So from your Handshake page, you're going to have your initials up at the top, and you're going to click on that, and you're going to click on My Profile. So this is what my profile looks like. It's awful because I'm not looking for a job. So as you can see, my profile is 15% complete, and it's very intuitive, just kind of like LinkedIn or Facebook or social media. You're going to go in each section and put in your information. So my journey, what are you passionate about? What are you looking for on Handshake? This is similar to like a LinkedIn summary. You could have just a brief introduction, something that's saying, you know, I'm an aerospace engineering student seeking an internship this summer, something like that. Something general, but that draws the employer in. And then education, everything for education is actually, every Sunday it's uploaded from Campus Solutions. So it's gonna already have your degree program that you're pursuing. And I changed this so that I got College of Engineering stuff. It'll have your start date, and then it'll say present here. It'll also do your GPA unless you tell it not to, and some you know, just basic information about yourself. The rest you need to fill out yourself. So you want to fill out all your work and volunteer experience, organizations, extracurriculars, courses, projects. This is really important, especially for engineers. And then eventually this is going to reach 100% complete. There's also an option to add a photo. You don't have to add a photo, but if you do, make sure it is a professional photo, one that you would want to include on LinkedIn and not Facebook. For our upcoming virtual industry career expo, if you put a photo, that's what they're going to see if you're engaging with them without the video on. So we want to make sure that's looking very professional. Okay, and then let's go back to the PowerPoint. Oh, if you've already, we'll go over how to upload your resume, but this is really cool. If you had already uploaded your resume, you can select it from up here, and then it'll build your profile for you based on what's already on your resume. So if I were you, I would upload your resume first, go ahead, build it from your resume, and then edit, you know, make sure it looks clean afterwards. But that's a really fast way to complete your profile very quickly until you reach that 100% completion. Okay, upload documents. So the way that you upload a document, again, you're going to click on your initials up here. You're going to click on documents, add new document, and then you would just upload from your desktop or wherever you have it stored. I definitely recommend uploading it as a PDF and not a Word document, because I don't want them uploading it on their end and having it look all wonky. We want it to look nice and clean. I also recommend naming it something professional. So Laura Polk resume is great. Remember, if you post this as like Raytheon resume, for example, and it's visible on your profile, all other companies will be able to see that. So we want to make sure this is something really nice in general. If you want to have a tailored resume for a specific company, that's fine. Just make sure that the general one is the one that appears as visible. So if I upload several resumes, it'll show a list right here, and I can click which one I want visible on my profile. And again, that is the one that's going to show up on the virtual career fair. Whatever you click is visible. You can also upload cover letters, transcripts, or other documents if you'd like. Okay, this is really important. So I'm going to show this on your profile, but if you fill out your interests, you're 80% likely to be reached out to an employer. So they really use these filters to search students that they want to reach out to. So back on your profile, if you go to profile, I really want you to focus on going down to interest and filling these out. So what types of jobs you're looking for, the cities you would consider, the roles, so like aerospace engineer, intern, those types of things. what industries interest you. The more that you fill this out, the more searches that you're going to show up on that employers are looking for, and the more chances you have of being messaged by an employer. So make sure that you're filling these out. Privacy settings. This is also important. So if you, again, click on your initials and you go down to settings and privacy, you want to ensure that your privacy is set to either community or employers. If it's set to private, you will not be able to participate in virtual career fairs, and you won't be able to be contacted by employers because you won't show up on any of their searches. So if you want to just be visible to employers, you can click employers, but community is what you need to select if you also want to take advantage of those peer messaging options for students across the entire country and across the world, actually. So community is definitely recommended to really open up this platform for everything that you want to take advantage of. Okay, now I want to go over how you can apply to internships and jobs. So you're going to click on the Jobs tab, and I'll show you from the home screen as well. It's the first thing that shows up is Jobs. And you can search for whatever you want. So I know a lot of you are engineering students because you're my students, so you might want to click or type in aerospace engineering. You can filter by location, whether it's a full-time job or internship, part-time, on campus, etc. Also, from the home page, they'll have jobs recommended for you based on how you filled out your profile and what you've applied to before. So these are good things to look at. This little symbol right here is saving them. So if you want to save jobs for later, like let's say you're looking for jobs throughout the week, but while you're applying on the weekend, you can click that little button to save them and then find them later under your saved jobs. Another thing to keep in mind, if you are not seeing a lot of job postings, or if you're trying to apply to a job and it says that you are not applicable because you don't have the right graduation date, I recommend going into your profile and changing your graduation date to your graduation date. So for a lot of you, this is going to say present. So let's say you're a junior and you're graduating May 2022. I would save this and see if that fixes the problem. We're trying to fix this from the IT end, but every week that's going in and that's changing that to present as opposed to your actual graduation date, because your graduation date isn't stored in Campus Solutions. So that's just a quick fix. If you're finding that it's saying that you can't apply for the job, I would check your graduation date and edit it really quick and see if that fixes the problem. Okay, now I want to go over how you can register for events and career fairs. So from the home page, you're going to click on event, oops, not career path, sorry. Click on events. And it's going to have events that career services at Prescott, Daytona, and Worldwide are all advertising, but it's also going to show up events that employers are offering to students. So you can filter by ones that are only virtual, ones that are happening this week. And again, if you only want to focus on events that our career services are offering, again, you can click on this little saved button and visit them later. But what's really, there's a lot of bad things about this pandemic, but one of the nice things is that you're going to have access to a lot of virtual events that you may not have usually had access to, because a lot of these companies obviously can't do in-person events. So everything is moved virtual. So there's really a wealth of employer events that you can participate in, and I definitely recommend that you participate in. So yeah, these are all the events that are coming up for career services and employers. So definitely check those out once a week. Every Monday morning, I also send out a virtual event email, and that's just pulling events from this search. For career fairs, you can filter by career fair. Our upcoming Prescott Career Fair is happening on September 30th, so that's how you would access that. Registration is opening on September 21st through the 24th. Check your email for your actual registration date, but that'll appear as register once your registration date opens. But even now, you can go down and look at the employers that are registered for this event and kind of plan ahead, do research on the employers, You might even want to follow them to see if they have any jobs opening up. So that's something that you can do right now as well. Because all of our career fairs are virtual, you can also participate in Daytona Beach's career fair. So you might also want to look at theirs and look at the companies that are registered for theirs as well. And again, you would go down to the bottom, click on employers attending. So that's how you would register for events and career fairs through Handshake. You can also now, this is brand new this week, you can schedule appointments with career services at the Prescott campus, and I'll show you how to do that. Currently, that's available for my degree programs, Darren Hudak's degree programs, but not Kevin Huardine's. If you belong to Kevin Huardine, just send him an email directly. But if you wanted to schedule an appointment on Handshake, and this is true for both Daytona and Worldwide as well, you click on Career Center, click on Appointments, click Schedule New Appointment, and it's automatically going to assign you to your correct program manager. So if you belong to me, it'll show up as Laura Polk. You would decide what type of help that you need. If it doesn't fit any of these categories, you can just click on General Career Advisement. Again, automatically going to be assigned to Laura Polk or whoever your career advisor is. Click on a date that you're interested in scheduling. You can choose the time zone, but let's say I want 10 a.m. Right now, we're only doing virtual appointments. So it's either phone or video. Write what you need help with, fill out a quick survey, and it'll send you automatically a Zoom link where we can have an appointment. And career services managers can either approve the appointment or deny them and kind of send you a follow-up email of a different time. But that's a really great way to schedule an appointment without doing the regular back and forth email. When are you available? When are you available? It's just kind of an easier way to do that. So definitely take advantage of that. Also on that Career Center page is all of the resources that Embry-Riddle has paid for you to take advantage of. So if you click on resources, as you can see, there's resume and cover letter samples, Big Interview, which is a platform to help you prepare for interviews, including virtual interviews. Career Shift is a repository of company contact information that you can sign up for, search for the company that you're interested in, and then get real recruiter contacts where you can send your resume directly to them. Career Spots videos, just little helpful videos on everything career services related. If you're interested in international internships or jobs, Going Global is a really great resource. Links to our podcast, etc. So lots of great resources on this page as well. So as you can see, pretty much everything that you need for career services is housed within this platform. So definitely take advantage of it. As you can see, all your saved stuff is showing up down here as well, which is nice right on your home page. So before I move on to questions, just to do a quick overview, thank you for attending today, but really what I want you to encourage you to do is if you do anything this year, I really want you to fill out your profile, upload your resume, and try to take advantage of as many events that we have going on as possible. Because the more that you fill out your profile, the more likely you have an employer to reach out to you. And I know you guys are so busy, especially this year. There's so much going on and so much new technology to get used to that it's nice to know that this is a platform that's working for you. Of course, you're going to have to go apply yourself, but it is nice to know, kind of like LinkedIn as well, that if you fill this out, employers are going to be able to search for you and message you. So definitely take advantage of this. We're going to move on to questions, but I also wanted, if you wanted to kind of screenshot this, the Handshake Help Center is really helpful. Obviously, I can help you with a lot of Handshake issues, but if you ever need help outside of business hours or anything like that, this support page is really helpful. I use it all the time on the career services side, and they're really, really helpful at answering questions. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and answer questions that I've gotten on the chat box, and we're probably going to end up ending a little bit early. And if you wanted to unmute, you can also ask your questions at this time. Susan, I recommend, are you I recommend getting in touch with your career services manager if you're from Prescott. We help alumni for life. And so Handshake is good for you, but like I said, it's very tailored towards a lot of entry-level positions and interns. So you might want some other recommendations outside of Handshake. Aspen, do you recommend that freshmen fill out a Handshake profile even if we don't have much to put on it? Yes, absolutely. Especially if you are planning on participating in our virtual career fair either this fall. I don't know if it's going to be virtual in the spring or not. I'm assuming it is. It's a good idea to fill it out because then if you participate in the career fair, this is what the employer is going to look at. And so I want to make sure that it's at least a little bit filled out. It's also good practice for you to just keep coming back to this profile and adding more and more projects or work experience once you've added them. So yes, I definitely recommend adding as much as you can because again, you might just have an employer reach out to you based on what you fill this out with. Any other questions?
Excuse me, Ms. Polk.
Yes.
So I was looking for on Handshake under the events and did a search for just career fairs, and I found there's an on-campus career fair for Prescott. Is that true?
So yeah, so if we click on here, what we've done is we've let employers have the option of virtual and on-campus, and the on-campus ones are very limited to the number of employers. But as you can see, we've only had 4 sign up.
Oh,
So
okay.
yes, it's still happening, but I would definitely keep track here. We may even have employers drop out and decide to do virtual instead. So I don't even know. You might be interested in tracks. So that would be one. And as you can see, it's October 14th, 11 to 3. And you can view details here. Darren Hudak is responsible for the on-campus events. So he would send out more information about that. But yes, as of now, we have 4 people participating on different dates.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Joseph, what would you recommend for the My Journey section? Should this include more technical skills or a more personable introduction of how you got the point where you are and what motivates you to enter your career? So the latter, Joseph. So I would make it more personable, something that introduces you and says, you know, what you're passionate about, exactly what we said, how you got to where you are, something that more draws them into your person as opposed to your technical skills, because those can be listed below under skills. So it's more an introduction to yourself. Delaney, for the city section of interest, I don't want to limit myself. What do you recommend I put? So that's a really great question as well. Putting a city or interest doesn't limit you at all. It just, if an employer wants to look for, like, let's say Ball Aerospace wants to look for someone that might be interested in living in Boulder, it would just show you up on that search. It doesn't exclude you from any other searches, if that makes sense. So it only helps you on searches, but it doesn't exclude you from any positions. And that surprised me as well, but Handshake has really been pushing that to career services this year to encourage students to fill out those interests, because employers are really using those searches to figure out who to message. Any other questions? And I know we're ending really early.
I have one more.
Yes.
So I just tried to see how to register for the Daytona Beach online career fair.
And it's not showing up yet, right?
I'm sorry, what?
It's not showing up yet, right?
No, it's there.
Okay.
But it says I'm not eligible to join it.
Right. So for each of these events, let me show, there are registration dates. So for Prescott, I don't know if Daytona has it filled out on theirs, but if you look on ours, the registration dates are listed right here. So Michael, are you graduating?
No, I'm a sophomore.
You're a sophomore. Okay, so on September 23rd, this is going to show up as register for you.
Right.
And for Daytona, I don't know if they have their registration dates on their page, but I happen to know that theirs is September 24th for you. And that's going to change to register. I'm not sure why it says a different button. It's just the way that they've programmed it on their end to not let students register yet.
Okay.
But they're doing it similar to ours, where they're only letting Daytona students register the first few days, and then they're opening up to Prescott on the 24th.
Understood. Thank you.
Sure. Any other questions? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so we got done early, which gives you time to do your homework. You're welcome, Aspen. So I'm gonna go ahead and email this recording to anyone if it's helpful, and also to that YouTube channel if you want to check out any other workshops, and make sure follow up with your individual career services manager if you have any more personal questions. But thank you so much for joining today, and I'm really glad that I was able to show you this important tool and make sure that you fill out your profile and upload your resume before the career fair registration dates, and you will be so much more prepared. So I'm gonna go ahead and log off. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.